so many of you, I know it's hard. It's tough.
It's okay if I go. It's kind of the around the 10-minute mark, the stretch where Eric Hunter, he got you a couple threes and then got that layup. On a night when it was a struggle to put the ball in the basket, did he kind of create some separation there for you?
Yeah, I thought he played well in that stretch. He made those threes, and he actually got a three a couple minutes after that too. That was a great look. But obviously, he wanted to be able to go down. But I thought he played an overall, good floor game. He had 7 rebounds and handled the basketball, and obviously had to guard, their point guards.
What were you trying to get offensively there early that would have materialized had the shooting clicked? It looked like you were playing through Travion a lot. What do you kind of like about kind of running offense through him?
Well, you want to, get the ball to Matt or Travion, down low. They're both good passers. They both can see over the defense. And just try to generate some points. If people want to come and double us, obviously they went big to big for a layup to start the game. And Travion got some, good looks from guys that didn't always go in. But so just trying to generate offense. If they stay one-on-one, to be aggressive and score. But if not, get that basketball moving, and hopefully it creates kind of a 3-on-2 or 2-on-1 on that weak side.
When they start together and the game unfolds to where they go to the bench together, what do you need from that second unit there offensively then?
Just try to spread it out more. Use Evan. We missed Evan a couple times on pick and pops. And, try to get him some shots and try to get Aaron some shots, but also, try to get some dives to the rim and some curls to the rim from our guards, and just trying to open up the middle and playing 5 out with those guys. It doesn't mean they can't dive to the rim, but once they do, just try to get back out and open things up.
Matt, do you learn more from a game like this as opposed to when the ball's going in the basket a lot,
Sure.
like Virginia?
Yeah, you see, adversity set in, and Northwestern played really hard, and they made it difficult, on us. But we, I felt like we had some pretty good looks, but we also had some empty possessions where we're taking tough shots at the end of the clock. But for the most part, if we just could have, made some of those shots and got them on their heels a little bit, I think some things could have opened up. That wasn't the case, and give them credit. They came right out, and Pete Nance knocked down a couple threes, and they had a good start to the game. But it's just one of those things. We're learning as we go on offensively too, because you're playing a couple different ways within the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think they have to adjust and understand that too, as well as we have to adjust and find those guys depending on who's in.
Still to go back and talk about that bigger lineup with Matt and Travion together. What did you see guys improve basically, especially on the offensive end?
Right.
Where you seen they still have to get a lot better?
Well, you would like to think that you could rebound better. Tonight between them, they both didn't have a lot of free throws, but the ones they had, they're 4 for 5 between them. They don't turn the ball over. So we played Florida State, and we didn't play them together, but they both had 4 turnovers against Florida State. And so they have 8 turnovers, in a game 2 games ago, and now they have 0 turnovers. So just trying to be solid and be fundamentally sound while they're playing together. More than anything, without having some crazy schematic answer. Just be solid. Our guards got to do a good job of feeding them. They got to do a good job of recognizing if they're double or they're one-on-one, and then try to hit that glass and try to create more opportunities for us by getting on this glass, whether you get a spray out 3 or you get a putback. But I thought they did a good job tonight. I thought they did some good things, and I thought it was a good team effort. I thought everybody really chipped in. Evan Boudreaux gave us really good minutes in the first half, and Eric and Jihad and Sasha, I thought they played well. Even though it wasn't clean,
Right.
I still think we did some good things, and obviously we held them to 44.
What did you see on the defensive end, I guess, from Matt and Travion? How are they kind of learning?
Well, it's hard because that's what they were trying to flip on us.
Right.
There at the end when you saw a couple pick and pop threes, and Pete Nance makes 2, then he misses 5 straight. So he's a guy that he was 10 for 38 last year, and he was 10 for 30 going into the game. So the law of averages, if it stays true to form, and he's got some misses coming our way. Ryan Young hadn't made a 3 all year, and he went 0 for 3. We knew Miller Cobb can shoot. We were trying to stay with Miller Cobb. Robbie Barron, we knew he could shoot a little bit. He was 5 for 9 going into the game. He was 1 for 2. But it's kind of like Diakite and Huffa the other night. Like they're 3 for 11. Like can they beat us? Shooting on a lot of those. I didn't feel like those guys could beat us at that time. We're playing at home, and things are a little bit different. Sometimes when you go on the road, those guys start to get going and make 2 or 3 threes, it can change the game, especially if it's a closer game.
You encouraged by the last game and the last second half with Sasha, and
Right.
how in the minutes he's able
Right.
to play, and offensively, obviously he was a spark in that second half.
Yeah, he did some good things for us, and he had some looks in the first half that didn't go down, but then at the end of the day, he has a good line, going 5 for 10 and going 2 for 5 from 3 and making his free throws and not turning the ball over. You're going to find your way if you play for us if you don't turn it over. Everybody on our team is good. But if you get guys that can go play 30 minutes and not get any turnovers, you're going to find your way, especially if you're a guy that can make 40% threes. But anytime you can stay in a game, man, it really helps you from a confidence standpoint, because you're in a flow, and you can do it with 3 or 4 guys. You can't do it with like 8 guys. It's just not the way it works. But him getting consistent minutes is, I think, really helped him and helped his confidence.
You went to a lineup kind of later in the game with Wheeler and Easton as your bigs per se. Is that a group that's ran together in practice?
Say that again.
You went to the lineup with Wheeler and Easton as your bigs. Is that a group that's kind of practiced together?
Yeah, we haven't really. They've been on the same team together. There's always been a 5 in there with them. And when they went with Robbie Behrens and Pete Nance there, I wanted to switch 5 ways and knock it out, but Boo Boo, he broke us down off the dribble, and then one of those guys wasn't low, and he just gets a layup. Just a poor recognition. And so we didn't have very many possessions there with it, but that's what I was, trying to do, just to switch so they wouldn't get some of those pick and pop threes, maybe for a possession or 2. That's what you could see that they were going to. But I was going to go back. So the one thing in basketball is that when you go offense, defense, sub, if there's not a whistle, you can't sub them back out. So you put them in for offense, and you miss a shot, or even if you make a shot, unless you want to burn your timeout, you're going to go the other end, and now your offensive group is in there on defense, or vice versa. Now when they, you get a defensive group in there, now all of a sudden you want to go small. Does everybody know the plays from different spots? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. There was a little hodgepodge there for a little bit. But when you got a 10, 12 point lead, I'd rather think defensive at that time, getting stops. Just trying to, put the best team out on the court to stop them or give us the best chance to score.
What was your message to No-Joe when you made the lineup change, and what do you want from him coming in with that second group now?
No different than the first group when you played with him. Just be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Play to your strengths. I thought tonight he made some nice moves and did some things and just didn't finish. I think a couple of those shots you'd probably like to have back, but the other ones, especially the last drive, that was a good drive. He put his head down, got right to the rim, and drove the basketball. But I thought his defense in the first half really bothered him. They called that foul. That kid just fell down. It just bothered him. He's hard. Taking passes away. It's pretty impressive when he locks in and guards people. He normally shuts people down. So I thought he did some good things for us. You look at his stat line, I don't think his stat line really. He didn't turn the ball over. He played 20 minutes. He didn't get shots, but he got some rebounds for us. Played hard, played defense. The goal is to win. And he's a winner.
Go to the last one. Coach, style-wise, when you see the ball's not going in from 3, how do you change, whether it's from possession to possession or in a break?
It just depends if you're taking good shots or not. If the ball's not going in and you're taking good shots, you got to be positive with your team. We're doing a good job. I thought No Gel and Jihad Proctor and a couple other guys, I forget who, really gave us some energy in the middle of that first half. And we really picked it up at that point. Even though you're up 22-16, now you're keeping them down. They don't feel good about scoring 16 points. We don't feel good about 22 either. But there's just, when you're on the road, it's just a little bit harder. But no, if you're taking tough shots or bad shots and you're not executing, you might not have turnovers. But those bad shots are turnovers. They don't go in the box score that way. But for us, I thought we were getting some pretty good shots. We probably 3 or 4 possessions we'd like to have back. But besides that, I thought we got good looks. It just didn't go down for us. And just tried to stay positive with them at halftime. And just keep executing, keep moving the basketball. You got to get in the paint. So no matter if it's going for you or not, but you got to get the ball in the paint. Whether you're getting offensive rebounds, whether you're driving the ball, whether you're getting deep post-ups, whether you're getting curl cuts to the rim, the ball's got to get in the paint. The more you can keep the ball in the paint offensively, better things are going to happen. And then the reverse of that is true for defense.
Just the lack of turnovers the last 2 games, is that a product of who you're playing at this point? You're not facing the kind of teams you faced in Florida, or
Yes.
Are you seeing a better focus and being stronger with the basketball, which you preached about?
When we play somebody like the teams we played in Florida, I can answer that. But it's just speculation. But you like to think that you've grown from it, but those are two pressing style teams. The thing that kind of upset me in Florida was we didn't turn the ball over against the press. We turned the ball over in the half court. And I don't care who you play, everybody's got to play in the half court. So their pressure and their athleticism, you know, our guys just didn't do a good job of helping each other and just handling that initial pressure. And that was, like I said, you know, I talked about our big guys earlier, that was across the line. You know, maybe like Isaiah Thompson had 33 minutes and 1 turnover. You know, probably a couple others probably played turnover free. But there's 6 or 7 guys in the game that didn't, you know, in both games. And you just got to do a better job of handling pressure and being fundamentally sound. You know, it sounds, you know, elementary, but like, you know, guys that are fundamentally sound that can pass fake and shot fake and throw the ball away from the defense and deliver the basketball, you know, those guys are priceless. You know, you got to have guys that are functional, and you can have all the shooters in the world. If you can't deliver the basketball, it's not going to help you. So we just got to keep working on delivering the basketball and helping each other out so we can have a, you know, an efficient offensive team.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.